Hey everybody, ronarray here, and in Path of Exile 2 we're literally swimming in loot. So a good loot filter is a very important part because it can make your whole playing experience significantly better. So in this video I'm going to showcase the best loot filter, because best loot filter is a loot filter that you are doing yourself. However, if you're not really up to the task, I will also share my own loot filter that I'm using for my monk builds and to farm breaches especially. I hope it will be really helpful for you. Check out the timestamps as usual and let's go. So to create your own filter, you need to go to PoE2filter.com. It's a website that's going to help you to create filter that exactly you need and that you will be able to use. Currently there's not a lot of things on the site and it will be pretty easy to understand how to make it. However, I'm going to walk you through the whole process. First off, for dynamic filters we have current waystone level and minimum gem level. Here you can put the numbers that would work just fine for you. So here, for example, you can just use around 20 approximately, and that way you will see only 20 level skill gems. Or you can lower it to like 18, and that way you will see only 18 and higher. So that's how it's currently working. Current waystone level is working literally the same. So there will be colors that will be completely hidden and particular colors for specific levels. So for example, if current waystone level will be like 14, so you will be able to see 13s, 14s, 15s and 16s. That way, if you're only interested in 14s, such approach would work just fine. And you can also just type 15s, that way you will see only 14s, 13s and 15s. Obviously you're still going to see 16s as well. For show armor types, here we can change what kind of type of armor you need, like for body armors, what kind of option like armor, evasion, energy shield, armor and evasion, or any combinations. Also here you can take normal or magic options and put it for expert only, advanced or all. I recommend to see only expert items because otherwise you're going to loot a lot of empty bases. So for example, for monk I'm usually going to hide most of the bases that I'm not going to loot. However, if you're interested to try an attempt at crafting, I recommend to just choose particular base, for example evasion and energy shield, put it to normal and put it to expert only. That way you will be able to see pretty nice amount of body armor bases that you will be able to craft. Same goes for weapons, so here you're just picking the weapons that you need. For example, if you're playing monk, it quarterstaves. Normal again and expert, advanced only type. If you want to loot weapons for other classes, you can add many rules as you want. So for example, if you want to loot some crossbows, here are crossbows and the same set of settings. Here there's also hide weapon and armor setting. You can hide only normal ones or you can hide normal and magic. Same goes for jewelry if you want to hide it. If you don't want to hide it, just click it off. That way nothing will be hidden and you will still see the items. However, I really recommend to hide most of those items because it's not really going to help you and most of the time you're not really looting bases. I'm also not really interested in hide flask, and scroll of wisdoms right now are not really popular as well. High gold stacks lower than is a very nice setting too, so you can put it at least to 300 for example. That way you will just not see low stacks of gold that usually everywhere at the screen. Hide common charms helps too. If you don't want to loot runes because runes are pretty cheap right now, you can hide them too. You can hide common currency as well, so you can hide shards only or common orbs too. I recommend to at least hide shards for common currency, but you can even hide orbs overall too because they're very cheap right now. There's also explanation if you just hover over there what is common currency and how it's working. And here's also exceptions. So you can showcase socketed items, for example with 2 sockets, you can showcase quality items and stuff like that. I genuinely don't really recommend it, so you can just off those exceptions. And quality ultimate life flask with higher quality could be a nice option too. Here you can highlight uniques and highlight rare jewelry. So in most of the cases it's recommended. And as you can see, the filter is very basic. Right now, unfortunately, item tiers are not supported by GGG, so you can't know which item is going to be good or bad. You will need to loot particular rares and check them out in the process yourself. So currently that's how it looks. There's also filter outputs and examples how it's going to look. As you can see, changing stuff on top of it, for example changing colors or making icons bigger, will require just you editing the document manually. So that's why, moving forward, I recommend to use my own filter that I created together with my chat, and it helped a lot to make looting process faster. So we made some icons bigger, we made colors more bright, for example for Divine Orb, so it should work significantly better for you. Here how you can create the filter yourself, and there's also recommendations if you go down here how to use the website and where exactly you need to put your filter. When you are ready, you will just need to click download and it's going to work just fine. After that, go to the user profile, documents, my game's Path of Exile, put your filter in there and open the game. So when you will open the game, you could just click options, open game, and here you can change item filter. Right now I'm using my own, it's called main, and you can also click to open your filter file folder to check out if the file is in the direct place. There's also other option for filter if you're not interested in creating your own and for some reason you don't really like mine, and that's called Neversink Lootfilter. You probably already know about Neversink, however I'm going to showcase. To find that one, you will need to go to github.com Neversink dev and check out his Neversink PoE 2 filter. Generally, you can also just Google Neversink and you're probably going to have that link. Right here is an example of what Neversink is doing. I think it's a very nice alternative if you don't really want to create it yourself and for some reason you don't want to use mine. However, I would say for Neversink right now there are some small issues because some icons in my opinion should be bigger, and that's how we made it for my own version. So here's also explanation how it's working, what's implemented, and there's also sound changes, so keep that in mind if you're playing with sound on. I definitely recommend to use it and I've been using it for some time already. And now let's move to my own filter. So now talking about my own filter, I really wanted to make a few changes and I made them with help from my Twitch chat. Generally, I wanted to make breach splinters bigger, because in my opinion in the most filters those are pretty small and if you're farming breach it could be a little hard to click. I also wanted exiles together with annulment and such things as chances to be pretty bright, so I could just loot them immediately without bothering too much. And I also wanted divines to be distinguished, because that way you will see that you dropped something cool. For such things as greater jewel orb, I made them brighter too and icons bigger. I think bigger icons are playing big role because it's significantly easier to click them when you're looting, and it will just speed up the whole process. However, there's a lot of things that my filter is hiding. Orb of augmentation, for example, is hidden completely, and they're hiding almost all types of gold, especially small parts. And in terms of items, most of the time rares will be shown, but if we will compare it with basic items such as bases, I'm mostly hiding all of them, because I'm not really looting bases at the current moment in the game, and instead I'm just focusing on looting currency. As you can see here with my filter on, everything is hidden except one rare right here. I'm usually hovering over that rare and checking out if we need it or not. So if you are playing Endgame and you really want a clear filter that hides most of the unnecessary things, focuses you on currency and still, as you can see, showing some rares, I recommend you to use mine. There are going to be links to Path of Exile, to filter.com and to the pastebin with my own filter just in the description and probably in the pinned comment as well, so check them out. And if you just want to get the filter out for use out of the pastebin, you will need to copy the text from pastebin to the basic txt document and then change the txt document to the filter document. It's a pretty easy process, and right now on the screen you can see how you can do that. I really hope that you're enjoying the filter. Thank you very much for watching as usual, and good loot to all of you. See you next time. ronarray out.